Stop scrolling for just a second. What if I told you that making your first $100,000 isn't about being born into a rich family? It isn't about having the perfect business idea, and it definitely isn't about getting lucky. In fact, the biggest reason most people never reach six figures has nothing to do with intelligence or education. It's because they're playing the wrong game. While most people spend years asking, how can I make more money? Wealthy people ask a completely different question. How can I create something that keeps making money after I've finished working? Think about your own life for a moment. Maybe you're working a full-time job. Maybe you're trying to save money, but every paycheck disappears before the next one arrives. Maybe you've watched dozens of videos about becoming wealthy, started a side hustle, or dreamed about starting a business, but nothing has really changed. If that's you, don't click away, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why some ordinary people reach their first $100,000 much faster than others, even if they start with no connections, no investors, and very little money. And here's the surprising part. The first $100,000 usually doesn't come from one giant breakthrough. It comes from making the right decisions over and over again until they begin to compound. Once you understand how that works, you'll never look at money the same way again. Let's get into it. The first thing you need to understand is that money doesn't reward effort. That might sound unfair. You've probably met people who work incredibly hard: construction workers, nurses, teachers, delivery drivers. Many of them work longer hours than millionaires. So why aren't they becoming wealthy? Because the market doesn't pay you based on how tired you are. It pays you based on the value you create and how many people benefit from it. Imagine two people. The first spends 8 hours mowing one person's lawn. The second spends 8 hours creating an app that millions of people download. Both worked for the same amount of time, but one created value that can be sold millions of times. That's leverage. And leverage is one of the biggest secrets behind building wealth. Look at companies like Netflix. They don't personally entertain every customer. They built a system. Every new subscriber increases revenue without requiring someone to work another 8-hour shift. That's why systems make people wealthy, not hours. If your income completely stops the moment you stop working, you don't own a system. You own a job. And there's nothing wrong with having a job. In fact, many people build their first $100,000 while working one. The mistake is believing your paycheck is the only source of income you'll ever need. Now let's make this goal feel much more realistic. Most people hear 100,000 and immediately think it's impossible. But successful people think differently. They break large goals into smaller numbers. Instead of focusing on $100,000, let's reverse engineer it. If your goal is $100,000, how many customers would you need? If you sell a $20 digital product, you'd need 5,000 sales. That sounds like a lot. But what if your product costs $100? Now you only need 1,000 customers. What if you sell a $500 service? Now you only need 200 clients. Or imagine you run a business that earns $2,000 in profit from each customer. Now you're only looking for 50 people. See how different that feels? The number never changed. Only the strategy changed. That's exactly how entrepreneurs think. They don't chase money. They design systems that naturally produce it. Instead of asking, how can I earn more? They ask, how can I help more people? Because every business is simply a solution to someone else's problem. The bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity. Let's look at some real examples. Take YouTube. Thousands of creators started with almost nothing. An old laptop, a cheap microphone, no audience, no sponsorships, no expensive equipment. Their first videos barely got any views. Some only had 10, others had 20, but they kept uploading. Every video improved their editing, improved their storytelling, improved their titles, improved their thumbnails. Eventually, one video took off, then another, and another. Today, many full-time creators earn money from ads, sponsorships, affiliate marketing, digital products, memberships, and courses. Notice something important. The video they uploaded 2 years ago can still make money today. That's leverage. Now think about software developers. Someone spends 6 months building an app that solves one annoying problem. Maybe it helps people organize their finances. Maybe it helps students study faster. Maybe it saves businesses time. Once it's finished, thousands of people can subscribe. The developer isn't rebuilding the app from scratch for every customer. One product, unlimited buyers. That's leverage again. Or look at freelancers. A graphic designer learns one valuable skill. They charge their first client $100, then $300, then $800. Eventually, they're working with companies willing to pay thousands every month because their work creates even more value. The skill didn't magically change overnight. Their reputation did. Their confidence did. Their experience did. And those things increased their income. One of the best modern examples is Alex Hormozi. Before becoming a multimillionaire, he wasn't famous. He wasn't wealthy. He spent years learning sales, marketing, and business. He failed. He made mistakes. He improved. Only after becoming incredibly valuable did the money begin to multiply. People often see the success. They rarely see the years spent building the skills behind it. That's true for almost every successful entrepreneur. Now, here's the part that nobody likes hearing. Most people never reach their first $100,000 because they spend too much time preparing and not enough time doing. They watch motivational videos, read books, listen to podcasts, take notes, buy courses, create plans, wait for the perfect idea, wait for more confidence, wait for the perfect timing. But perfection never arrives. Imagine two people. The first spends an entire year researching how to start a business. The second spends that same year trying, failing, learning, improving, talking to customers, making mistakes, changing direction. Who do you think will be closer to making $100,000? Every single time. It's the person who took action. Because action teaches lessons that books never can. Every mistake becomes experience. Every experience becomes skill. Every skill increases your value. And the more valuable you become, the more the market is willing to pay you. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. You could watch videos about balance for 6 months. You could read books about bicycles. You could study the science behind gravity. But until you actually get on the bike, you'll never learn. Business works the same way. Money works the same way. Success works the same way. There's another mistake people make. They believe they need 10 different income streams immediately. So they start trading, then drop shipping, then crypto, then affiliate marketing, then YouTube, then Amazon FBA, then freelancing. They never stay focused long enough to become great at one thing. Wealth isn't usually created by chasing every opportunity. It's created by mastering one opportunity before moving to the next. Focus creates momentum. Momentum creates income. Income creates options. Options create wealth. And remember, the first $100,000 is almost always the hardest. Not because earning money becomes easier, but because you've already built the habits, skills, discipline, confidence, and systems needed to keep growing. Charlie Munger once said that the first $100,000 is a real challenge because you're fighting against zero. Once money starts working for you instead of you constantly working for money, everything begins to accelerate. That's the power of compounding. The same principle that grows investments also grows businesses, skills, audiences, and opportunities. Every small improvement stacks on top of the previous one. One better habit, one better decision, one new client, one new skill, one new video, one new product. None of those seem life-changing on their own, but together, they completely change your future. So if you truly want to make your first $100,000 before the end of the year, stop asking yourself how to get rich overnight. Instead, ask yourself these questions. What valuable skill can I master? What problem can I solve? How can I help more people? How can I build something that continues producing value tomorrow, next month, and next year? Those questions will take you much further than simply asking how to make more money. Because the truth is, your first $100,000 probably won't come from one lucky break. It'll come from becoming someone the market can't ignore. Someone who creates value, someone who keeps improving, someone who continues showing up long after everyone else has quit. Every millionaire started with 0 customers. Every successful creator uploaded a first video. Every entrepreneur made their first sale. Every investor made their first investment. The difference wasn't talent. The difference was consistency. A year from now, you'll either look back wishing you had started today, or you'll be celebrating the progress that began with one simple decision. So the real question isn't whether making your first $100,000 is possible. The real question is, what are you going to build starting today? If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about money, business, investing, and the hidden economics behind how wealth is really created, make sure to subscribe. Because the next video might completely change the way you think about money forever.